Once upon a time, in a land of high mountains and fluffy clouds, there lived a young scientist named Addison. Addison loved to explore. She wore a bright red cape that fluttered like wings. Her favorite place was the magical Melody Mountain, where each rock and tree could sing. With her special invention, a tiny sound catcher, Addison could record the mountain's songs. She hummed as she walked, happy to work on her new project. Addison planned to create a symphony, using the tunes she collected. The mountain air was crisp, and the sky was a deep blue. Birds chirped in harmony, welcoming her to their musical world. As Addison climbed higher, she came across a narrow path hidden by a waterfall. Behind the curtain of water, she discovered a secret cave. Inside was a sparkling pool that made tinkling sounds like tiny bells. Curious Addison dipped her sound catcher and recorded the tinkling melody. But then she heard a soft voice singing. It was Luna, the mountain musician, who played a golden flute. Luna had hair as shiny as stars and eyes that sparkled like diamonds. She played melodies that danced through the air, making flowers bloom and the sunbeam brighter. Luna welcomed Addison and shared her secret. The mountain gave its music to those with big dreams and kind hearts. Addison and Luna decided to combine their talents, a scientific mind and a musical heart. They created a symphony that could make anyone happy. The mountain granted Addison super science powers that let her invent wonderful things. The pair became the guardians of the mountain, teaching others to listen to nature's songs. They spread happiness through music and discovery. As Addison and Luna played their symphony, rainbows formed, and all who heard clapped their hands with joy. Addison learned that sometimes the best adventures are filled with music, friendship, and a dash of mountain magic. And so, the mountain's melodies continued to fill the world with joy.
Once upon a time, in a land full of magic, there was a kind princess named Charlotte. She lived in a shiny castle by the edge of a big green forest. The forest was full of tall trees, singing birds, and colourful flowers. Charlotte loved the forest because it was her secret place. One sunny morning, she wore her favourite pink dress and crown. She told her puppy Max, "Let's go on an adventure." Max wagged his tail happily. Off they went, down the pebble path and into the forest. Charlotte liked to visit her special tree. Its bark was soft and mossy, and it had friendly branches reaching up to the fluffy clouds. As they walked, Charlotte saw a pretty rainbow flower. It was the most beautiful she had ever seen. Suddenly, it spoke. "Hello, Princess Charlotte," it said cheerfully. Charlotte gasped. "Can you talk?" she asked. "Yes," the flower giggled. "I am a magic flower. We need your help. The forest is losing its colours. Can you bring them back?" Charlotte nodded bravely. "Of course, I will help," Max barked, ready too. The flower showed them the way with a twinkling light. They passed a pond with talking frogs and a wise owl who gave them clues. "You need the golden feather. It's on the tallest tree," hooted the owl. Charlotte looked up. The tallest tree touched the sky. "Don't worry," she said to Max. "We can do this together." As they climbed, Charlotte encouraged Max. "Almost there. Just a bit more." At the top, a sparkly golden feather waited. When Charlotte touched it, colours streamed out, painting the forest like a rainbow. Everything was bright and happy again. "Thank you, brave princess," the flower sang. Charlotte smiled, feeling proud and happy. The forest sparkled with life. Princess Charlotte, Max, and the friendly creatures danced in joy. From then on, Charlotte learned that helping others makes the world a brighter place.
Miles was a small pirate with a big red hat. He lived on a ship called the Sea Star. The ship sailed over the bright blue ocean. Miles had a map with a big X on it. The X showed where a treasure was hidden. One day, Miles said, "We must find the lost treasure." His friends, a group of jolly pirates, agreed. They loved adventure too. The waves were high, and the wind was strong, but Miles held the map tight. He was not scared. The pirates sailed for days and nights. They sang songs and laughed. Sometimes they saw dolphins jumping in the sea. Miles would point and smile. "Look at them play," he would say. The dolphins were brave, just like Miles. Miles faced many challenges. Once a storm cloud covered the sun. Lightning flashed and rain poured. The Sea Star rocked back and forth. The pirates held tight to the ropes. Stay strong, Miles shouted. His friends nodded and kept working. They trusted him. After the storm, the ship was safe. The sea was calm again. But the map got wet and some parts blurred. Miles felt worried. We must find another way, he said. His friends thought hard. Then, they remembered the twinkling North Star. Let's follow the star, a pirate said. Miles smiled and agreed. Every night they watched the sky. The North Star shone bright. Finally, they spotted the island from the map. It looked like a big turtle resting on the water. Miles felt excited and brave again. The pirates rowed to the island. They walked through tall trees and soft sand. Miles led the way. He listened to the birds singing. Soon, they reached the spot marked by the big X. With shovels, they dug in the sand. Clink! A chest appeared. Miles opened it, and inside were golden coins and shiny jewels. The pirates cheered loudly. We did it, Miles said, grinning from ear to ear. Miles knew the adventure was more than just finding treasure. They learned that when they stick together, they can overcome anything. Miles and his pirate friends danced and sang on the beach, happy to learn that perseverance and teamwork were their real treasures.
Leah, the brave superhero, wore a cape. Her cape was shiny and blue like the sea. She had a special power. She could swim super fast. One sunny day, Leah stood on a sandy beach. The ocean waves danced and splashed. Her friends, Max the Mighty and Zoe the Zoomer, were there too. Max had strength like a bear. Zoe could fly like a bird. Today, they were going on an ocean adventure. The waves whispered secrets, and the sun smiled down. Let's explore, friends, Leah shouted. Max and Zoe cheered. They all jumped into the sparkling water. The sea tickled their toes. Leah led the way with her super swim. Zoom, zoom! Her friends followed. The water was like a big, gentle hug. Fish swam around them. Colors, like a rainbow. The trio spotted something shiny in the distance. It glimmered and gleamed like a hidden treasure. We must find it, Zoe giggled, flapping her wings above the water. Max paddled with strong strokes. Together they reached the shiny object. It was an old golden shell. It lay on the ocean floor, half buried in sand. The treasure map, shouted Leah. The shell had symbols and drawings like a puzzle. Excited, they started to solve it. Leah pointed to a picture of a starfish. We must find this starfish, she said. They swam further into the ocean. They met dolphins who swirled around them, playing and laughing. The sea was full of wonders. Teamwork was their secret weapon. Max pushed a big rock away, and Zoe flew up high to see further. Finally, they found a beautiful coral reef. It was like a city under the sea, full of colorful fish and plants. There, on a shiny rock, was the starfish from the map. It had a kind smile. Thank you for finding me, said the starfish. You have shown true friendship and teamwork. Leah grinned, and her friends hugged each other. The ocean adventure was the best. They learned working together makes everything better. With a happy heart, they swam back to shore. The sun set in the glowing sky. The sea sang a lullaby of their brave adventure. Leah, Max, and Zoe looked at the horizon. They knew the ocean held more stories. With friendship and teamwork, they could do anything. Their hearts were full, and they were ready for the next adventure.
In a faraway desert, hot and sandy, lived a little girl named Stella. Stella was not just any girl. She was a superhero. She wore a shiny cape made of silver stars. The desert sun always shone brightly, and the sand sparkled like gold. Stella loved to help everyone, even the little ants, marching in a line. One day, while playing with her friends, Stella saw a princess crying under a palm tree. The princess wore a pink dress and a crown that twinkled in the sun. Stella ran to the princess and asked, "Why are you so sad?" The princess said, "Oh, dear Stella, my favorite sandcastle blew away in the wind." Stella wanted to help. She thought and thought. The breeze was gentle, and Stella had an idea. "Let's build a new sandcastle together," said Stella, with a big smile.
The princess stopped crying and nodded. Stella and the princess gathered soft sand with their tiny hands. They shaped towers, built walls, and made a moat with shiny stones they found. Soon, a magnificent sandcastle stood tall. The princess clapped her hands, and her face lit up with joy. Stella felt happy too. "Thank you, Stella," said the princess, hugging her. Stella smiled brightly and said, "Remember, we can always build again." The princess learned that losing something isn't so bad if you have friends to help. Stella waved goodbye, ready for more adventures in the desert. Every bit of sand and every gust of wind whispered many more stories yet to be told. Aubrey was a curious and brave child. One sunny morning, she walked into the forest near her home. The trees were so tall they touched the sky. The leaves whispered secrets in a gentle breeze. She loved the forest because it was full of adventures. As she walked deeper, Aubrey saw something shiny on the ground. It was a small, golden charm shaped like a star. Just as she picked it up, the ground shimmered with light. Suddenly, 3 superheroes appeared. There was Captain Courage, who wore a bright red cape, Lady Light, who glowed like the sun, and Speedster, who zoomed faster than the wind. They were smiling at Aubrey. Captain Courage told Aubrey about the Forest of Heroes. He said, "This forest is magical because it tests your honesty and bravery. If you pass the test, you become a hero too." Aubrey was excited. She wanted to be a hero. Lady Light showed Aubrey a path lit up by glowing stones. She said, "On this path, you will face a challenge. Remember, honesty and kindness will guide you." Aubrey nodded and started the journey with the superheroes by her side. Soon, she met a crying squirrel who had lost its acorn. Aubrey felt a tug in her heart. She wanted to help. "Don't worry," she said. "I'll help you find it." As they searched, Speedster zoomed around, and Lady Light used her warm glow to light the way. Aubrey spotted an acorn wedged between 2 rocks. She reached in carefully and gave it back to the squirrel. "Thank you," squeaked the happy squirrel. Captain Courage clapped his hands. He said, "Aubrey, you showed kindness and honesty by helping without seeking a reward. You are a true hero." Aubrey smiled wide. The golden star charm shone brightly, and the forest sang with joy. The superheroes nodded in approval and said, "Always be brave and honest, and you will light up the world." Aubrey felt proud and knew the forest was a place of magic and truth.
In a busy city filled with tall buildings and smiling faces lived a superhero named Bryson. Bryson wasn't an ordinary superhero. He had a bright red cape and sparkly blue shoes that made him run really fast. One sunny day, Bryson heard a cry for help. It was from Princess Rose, a kind princess who loved to garden in the city's park. Her crown sparkled as she cried. "Oh no, my flowers need water. The park's fountain is broken," she said. Bryson zoomed over, his cape fluttering like a flag. Bryson knew he needed help. Luckily, his friends, Captain Brave, the superhero with a shiny shield, and Pirate Poppy, the friendly pirate with a wooden leg and a heart of gold, were nearby. Captain Brave was polishing his shield, and Pirate Poppy was looking for treasure. "We can fix the fountain together," Bryson said, his eyes sparkling with hope. "Let's help Princess Rose." Captain Brave and Pirate Poppy nodded, ready for adventure. The 3 friends quickly made a plan. They gathered tools, wrenches, hammers, and a magic screwdriver that glowed in the sun. Captain Brave used his shield as a table, placing all the tools on it. Pirate Poppy, with her wooden leg clunking, used her treasure map skills to find the broken parts of the fountain. Bryson used his super speed to run back and forth, bringing supplies like bolts and washers from the superhero workshop. Together they worked hard. Captain Brave tightened bolts with his strong hands. Pirate Poppy tapped her foot and sang a pirate song, making everyone smile as they worked. Bryson dashed back, his blue shoes sparkling, carrying a new fountain pump. With teamwork, they pieced the fountain back together. The gentle flow of water returned, making a soft splashing sound. Princess Rose clapped her hands with joy. Her flowers happily danced in the newly watered soil. Seeing the water flowing again, Bryson, Captain Brave, and Pirate Poppy felt proud. The city park was cheerful. People gathered, clapping and cheering for the three heroes. Princess Rose, with her crown shining brightly, handed each of her friends a beautiful flower as a thank you. "Thank you for saving my flowers in the park," she said, her voice filled with happiness. Bryson knew that friendship and teamwork were the best superpowers of all. "We did it together," he said with a bright grin. The friends sat by the fountain enjoying the cool breeze. Bryson's cape fluttered gently as they watched the playful clouds dance in the sky. Together they promised to always help each other and protect their city. And in the busy city with its tall buildings and joyous spirit, the superheroes, a pirate and a kind princess, knew they would always be friends, ready for any adventure that came their way.
Once upon a time, in the deep blue sea, lived Mateo, a friendly shark. Mateo had a big smile and loved to play. One day, Mateo found a shiny pirate ship. The ship was full of fun things. There were colorful flags and a big wheel. Mateo wiggled his tail with excitement. Near the ship, Mateo saw a pirate. The pirate had a hat with a big feather. He was Captain Featherbeard. Captain Featherbeard loved the sea. He liked fish and animals. He wanted to be friends with Mateo. Mateo smiled. Captain Featherbeard had a map. The map showed treasures under the sea. Mateo and Captain Featherbeard wanted to find it. Along the way, they met a playful dolphin. The dolphin did flips and splashes. "Let's play together," said the dolphin. Mateo, Captain Featherbeard, and the dolphin swam through the sea. They met a kind whale. She was very big and gentle. "Follow me," said the whale. She led them to a treasure chest. It was covered in shiny pearls and shells. Mateo and his friends were happy. They shared the treasure. Mateo heard a roar. It was Dina, the tiny dinosaur. Dina loved the sea too. "Can I join you?" Dina asked. "Yes," said Mateo. Together they laughed and played. Mateo felt happy. He loved his new family, a big family of pirates, sea animals, and a little dinosaur. Mateo knew they all cared for each other. They understood love and friendship. Mateo's heart was warm like the sun. Every day they had adventures. The sea was their home, and each other was their treasure. And forever they played happily.
Once upon a time, on a snowy mountain, lived a kind boy named Braden. Braden was not an ordinary child. He was a tiny Santa Claus. He wore a bright red suit and a pointy hat. Every winter, he loved to explore the White Mountains. One day, as the snowflakes danced in the sky, Braden heard a gentle whoosh. It was his friend, Starflame the superhero. Starflame wore a shiny blue cape and could fly like a bird. Together they watched the sun sparkle on the snow. But then, Braden noticed something. A small trail of footsteps led to a big, snowy hill. "Let's see where they go," said Braden. Starflame nodded with a big smile. They followed the footsteps until they reached a frozen cave. Inside, they saw ice crystals that twinkled like stars. "Wow!" Braden said, feeling amazed. Suddenly, they heard a tiny voice crying. It was coming from behind an ice wall. "I need help," the voice said. Braden and Starflame worked as a team. Starflame used her super strength to move the icy rocks. Braden cleared the snow. Slowly, they found a little snow bunny trapped inside. "You're safe now," said Braden, petting the bunny. The bunny wiggled its nose and felt happy. Braden and Starflame decided to help the bunny find its way home. Together, they walked through the snowy woods. Braden hummed a jolly tune, and Starflame flew above, keeping a watchful eye. Soon, they came to a small, cozy hole in the ground. The bunny's home. The bunny's family hopped out looking joyful. "Thank you, Braden and Starflame," said the bunny. Braden felt warm inside like hot cocoa on a cold day. Starflame smiled, her eyes sparkling like icy stars. As the friends waved goodbye, they knew they had done something special. The adventure showed them that teamwork and kindness could light up the darkest caves, and from that day, Braden knew he could count on his superhero friend, Starflame. Together, they were a perfect team.
Silas was a little boy who wore a shiny spacesuit. He was a doctor and an astronaut. Silas loved to explore. One sunny day, he looked up at the fluffy clouds. He saw shapes of dragons, castles, and funny faces in the sky. His best friend Lily, who was also an astronaut, came to play. They both sat by the sparkling river. The river flowed gently, singing a merry tune. "What adventure awaits us today?" Lily asked. Silas grinned. "Let's visit the magical kingdom," he said. They packed their space gear and snacks. Silas and Lily flew their spaceship through the bright blue sky. Below, the village was buzzing with joy. Everyone waved as Silas and Lily zoomed past. The spaceship soared over tall trees, gliding gently. They reached the magical kingdom. It was beautiful and full of colors. The flowers there bloomed with laughter. Silas and Lily landed safely in a backyard of a large garden. The magical creatures of the kingdom came to greet them. They met a talking frog prince, a glowing fairy, and a giggling dragon named Sparks. Sparks said, "We need your help. The garden river is too quiet. It's usually so chatty." Silas nodded bravely. "Let's figure this out together," he said. With teamwork, Silas and Lily checked the river. They listened carefully. "Oh dear," Silas said, "a rock is blocking the river's song." Everyone helped. Silas bravely pulled the big rock away. The river started to sing happily again. The kingdom cheered, and the river sparkled like diamonds. "Thank you, Silas and Lily," the creatures cried. Silas felt warm and happy inside. He had helped his friends. The sun began to set, painting the sky with oranges and pinks. Silas and Lily waved goodbye. On their way back home, they talked about their next adventure. With courage and kindness, Silas knew they could do anything. Once upon a time, there was a little pirate named Benjamin. He lived on a big pirate ship with his friends, the Jolly Crew. Benjamin wore a big hat and had a shiny wooden sword. The pirate ship sailed across blue seas and sparkled in the sun. Benjamin loved adventure. One sunny morning, Captain Bluebeard called everyone on deck. "We need a special treasure for today," he said. "But first, we shall play soccer." The pirates cheered, and Benjamin jumped high in excitement. They used barrels as goals and had a big bouncy ball. The game began, and Benjamin kicked the ball with all his might. His friends ran, laughed, and cheered. The waves rocked the ship gently. Just then, a big seagull swooped down, snatched the ball, and flew away. Oh no, the pirates scratched their heads. Benjamin thought hard. "We must find the ball," he declared bravely. Captain Bluebeard nodded. "Aye, let's follow that bird." So off they went, sailing the ship, following the cheeky seagull. Benjamin stood at the front, holding his sword, feeling brave. The wind blew and the ship sailed swiftly. Benjamin spotted the seagull landing on a tiny island. "There it is!" he shouted. The crew anchored the ship, and they ran to the island. Brave Benjamin climbed a small tree and reached the seagull's nest. "I'm not scared," he whispered. He grabbed the ball and the seagull flapped its wings, flying away. The pirates cheered as Benjamin climbed down. "You're our hero," said Captain Bluebeard. They all smiled and hugged. The pirates played soccer once more, with the treasure of bravery glowing in their hearts.
Asher loved soccer more than anything. Every Saturday, he played at the big stadium with his friends. The stadium was huge and shiny. Asher felt so small there, but also brave. There were his friends, Lila and Max. They were good at soccer too, and together, they made a great team. Asher was quick. Lila could kick the ball really far, and Max was great at passing. They laughed and ran, the wind in their hair. Asher's shoes were bright red, and they sparkled in the sun. The grass was green, and the sky was blue. Everyone was happy. Then Asher noticed something strange. There was a corner of the field that shimmered like magic. He told his friends, "Let's see what's there." They ran over, curious and excited. When they reached the corner, the ground sparkled like stars. Lila said, "Whoever touches the sparkle will have a wish come true." Max nodded and said, "Let's make a wish." They held hands and counted. 1, 2, 3. Together, they touched the sparkle. Suddenly, they felt a warm breeze. Their soccer ball glowed bright. It floated into the air, spinning with magic. The children giggled, their eyes wide with surprise. Asher smiled and said, "Let's play a magical game." Their team worked together, their moves smooth and quick. The ball listened to them like it had ears. It made them glide and twirl like dancers on the field. The game was fun and light. They played until they felt tired but happy. Then the magic started to fade. The ball gently came back to the ground. Asher said, "We used our wish well. We learned magic is in teamwork." Max smiled. "Yes, when we play together, we are strong." Lila nodded. "And we can always make fun by being friends." The magic soccer game ended, but the friendship grew stronger. They knew they could play well because they trusted each other. The sun set, making the stadium a golden sea. Asher and his friends packed their things. As they walked out, they knew they had something very special. It wasn't just a magic game or a shiny stadium. It was something bright in their hearts. The joy of playing together.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Ellie. Ellie was not just any girl. She was a superhero. She could swim faster than a dolphin and talk to sea creatures. Ellie lived near a big blue ocean. The waves danced and the sun sparkled on the water like tiny stars. One sunny day, Ellie met a pirate. His name was Captain Finn. Captain Finn had a big floppy hat and a long curly beard. He was looking for a special treasure hidden deep in the ocean, but he couldn't find it alone. Ellie decided to help. Together, Ellie and Captain Finn sailed in his big wooden ship. They laughed and sang happy songs. Along the way, they met a princess. Her name was Princess Lila. She wore a shiny crown. Princess Lila loved the ocean and wanted to join their adventure. "Let's work together and be a team," said Ellie with a smile. Captain Finn, Ellie, and Princess Lila became friends. They sailed over the sparkling ocean. Suddenly, they saw a big map floating on the water. It was a treasure map. The map talked about a magical island full of colorful shells and sand that glowed at night. Ellie, Captain Finn, and Princess Lila followed the map. They sailed past dancing dolphins and cute sea turtles. The wind was soft, and the salty sea air tickled their noses. In no time, they reached the magical island. It was even more beautiful than they imagined. The sand glowed and shells played music in the wind. But the treasure was still hidden. They decided to ask for help. Soon, an explorer named Max joined them. Max had a big, bright backpack and knew many things about the ocean. Max said, "The treasure is the special friendship we have." Everyone smiled. They worked together to pick the prettiest shells and made necklaces. They shared stories and learned from each other. Ellie, Captain Finn, Princess Lila, and Max had found a treasure better than gold: friendship and teamwork. As the sun began to set, the sky turned pink and orange. They sailed back home with happy hearts. Ellie learned that adventures are better with friends. From that day, she knew teamwork made everything more magical. And whenever she looked at the glowing shells, she remembered her best ocean adventure.
In a land of tall mountains and deep oceans, there lived a young boy named Carter. Carter was not just a prince, he was a superhero too. Every morning, he wore his shiny crown and magical blue cape. One day, a mystery shook the kingdom. The golden star, which lit up the mountain, had vanished. Carter looked out over the tall, snowy peaks. He knew he must find the star. Carter called upon his friends: Lily the wise princess, Max the brave prince, and Ava the superhero girl with powerful wings. Together, they formed the mighty Friends Squad. The friends climbed the rocky hills feeling the wind's cool whispers. Carter smiled with determination. We can do this as a team. His friends nodded, hearts full of hope and adventure. The friends reached the top of the biggest mountain. They peered into a deep cave, dark and full of mystery. A soft glow shone from inside, bouncing on the cave's cool walls. I think the star is in there, whispered Lily, her eyes wide with wonder. We must be careful, said Max bravely, holding a small torch that flickered in his hand. Stepping into the cave, Ava's wings fluttered softly as Carter led the way. Strange rock formations surrounded them, glistening like diamonds. Carter paused. He wanted to protect his friends. Hold hands and stay close, he advised. They moved deeper inside, the air growing colder. Excitement mixed with a little bit of worry, but with each step, their bond grew stronger. Finally, they found the golden star, stuck in the roots of a giant tree. Carter and his friends tugged together, but it wouldn't budge. Then, Carter had an idea. What if we all pull together and tell the tree we mean no harm? With kindness in his voice, Carter spoke to the tree. Dear tree, we wish to save our land. Can you help us? The tree listened and, with a gentle rumble, released the star. The friends cheered, their hearts light with joy. Back at the kingdom, they placed the star back high in the sky. It shone brighter than before, warming their faces. We did it together, Carter smiled. From then on, the star reminded everyone of the power of friendship and working as a team.
Once upon a time, there was a little pirate named Charlotte. She wore a bright red hat with a big feather. Charlotte lived on a wooden ship with her pirate friends. They sailed on the blue ocean. The sun was shining, and the waves were dancing. They were looking for a special treasure. It was a sunny day, perfect for an adventure. Charlotte had a shiny telescope. She looked through it and saw a tiny island in the distance. Her heart felt happy. She waved at her friends. "We must go there," she shouted happily. Her friends nodded. They loved adventures. The little ship sailed with the wind. The sea breeze felt cool. Seagulls flew in the sky singing happy songs. Charlotte and her friends laughed together. They had a map with them. It was old, with lots of squiggly lines. Charlotte held it carefully. The island was close now. She could see palm trees with coconuts. The ship stopped with a gentle bump on the sandy beach. Charlotte and her friends jumped off. The sand was warm under their feet. "Time to find the treasure," she giggled. Her friends clapped. They were a great team, helping each other. They followed the map, stepping over logs and rocks. The trees whispered secrets in the ocean breeze. Charlotte saw a red X on the map. They all looked around, searching for the spot. There it was, under a big coconut tree. They dug with their little shovels, working together. Soon they found a big chest. They opened it, and inside were shiny coins and colorful seashells. Charlotte smiled wide. Her friends cheered. They shared the treasure, each keeping a special shell. The sun began to set, painting the sky pink and orange. They went back to their ship, feeling happy. They had a great day together, and their friendship was the best treasure of all.
In a small, peaceful village lived a boy named Adam. Adam was not just any boy. He was a superhero. He wore a red cape that glittered in the sun. Everyone in the village knew Adam because he helped them with his superpowers. One sunny day, Adam went for a walk and met his furry friends, Max the dog and Whiskers the cat. Max wagged his tail happily, and Whiskers purred softly. They decided to explore the village together. The birds chirped, and the flowers swayed as they strolled along the path. Adam, Max, and Whiskers loved their village. They wanted to make sure everyone was safe and happy. They played games and shared laughs. But something unusual caught their eye. In the middle of the village, a little lost lion cub sat, looking sad and scared. The villagers were too frightened to go near him. Adam said, "Don't worry, we can help." Max barked in agreement, and Whiskers meowed with encouragement. Adam used his super hearing and listened carefully. The little cub was crying for his mother. His heart ached for the lonely cub, but Adam knew he had to be brave and smart. With Max's nose, they followed the scent. Whiskers, with her nimble paws, showed them through the bushes. Adam led the way with his cape fluttering behind him. All three friends worked together, turning teamwork into their superpower. Each step got them closer to solving the mystery. They traveled through fields and jumped over streams until they heard a roar. It was the cub's mother. She had been searching for her little one too. The cub ran joyfully to his mother. Adam, Max, and Whiskers felt happy seeing them together. The lioness thanked Adam and his friends for their help. From that day, the village became friends with the lions. Everyone learned that bravery and kindness go hand in hand. Adam realized that even superheroes need friends. With teamwork and friendship, they discovered the true power inside their hearts. Max, Whiskers, and Adam returned to the village, where everyone celebrated their adventure with smiles and happiness.
In the deep green forest, little Scarlet walks with her dog, Max. Scarlet has bright red cheeks and a sunny smile. Max has a fluffy tail that wags all the time. The birds sing in the trees. They sing happy songs. Scarlet loves the forest. She sees big trees and tiny flowers. Scarlet's eyes are big with wonder. Max sniffs the ground, finding new scents and bugs. Suddenly, Scarlet sees a little squirrel. The squirrel is on a branch. "Hello," says Scarlet. The squirrel waves its bushy tail. Scarlet giggles with joy. Max barks a friendly hello too. They all watch leaves dance in the breeze. Max stops. He finds something shiny on the ground. Scarlet kneels down to see. It is a small magic pebble. The pebble glows bright and blue. Scarlet and Max look at each other, eyes wide with surprise. They feel a warm, happy feeling inside. Scarlet picks up the pebble. It feels nice and smooth. Then they hear a voice. "The pebble is a gift," says a gentle fairy. She has wings like butterfly. Scarlet smiles wide. "Wow," she says. The fairy tells them, "The pebble brings happiness to those who are kind." Scarlet and Max nod. They know to be kind is very special. Scarlet sees a bush. A bird is caught in it. "Oh no," says Scarlet. Max barks to help. Scarlet frees the bird with care. The bird chirps. A sweet "thank you," and Max wags his tail. Scarlet feels joyful. The pebble shines even brighter. Scarlet understands kindness makes things better. As they walk home, the sun starts to set. The forest glows with soft light. Scarlet hugs Max. "I am glad we are friends," she says. Max licks her cheek. They skip and laugh together, heart full with joy. The forest sings them a lullaby. Scarlet learns the magic of being kind.
In a forest full of tall trees, there was Ian, a little scientist. Ian loved to explore. One day, he found a shiny map hidden in the leaves. This map showed a path across the oceans to a secret island. Ian was excited. He put on his explorer hat and grabbed his magnifying glass. With his animal friends, he set out on an adventure. First, they met a friendly pirate named Captain Jake. Captain Jake had a treasure chest full of seashells and stories. Ian asked Captain Jake to join the adventure. Captain Jake smiled and said, "Aye, let's find treasure together." So off they sailed across the bright blue ocean on the pirate ship. As they sailed, they saw colorful fish swimming and dolphins jumping high in the sky. Ian loved the ocean and clapped his hands with joy. His scientist heart was happy, and his friends felt the same. After a while, a big whale swam up to the ship. "Hello, friends," the whale said in a deep voice. Ian waved and said, "We are on an adventure to the secret island. Would you like to come?" The whale nodded, making big waves. Ian, Captain Jake, the dolphin, and the friendly fish followed the whale. As they reached the island, they saw the forest filled with colorful flowers and tall trees reaching up to the sky. In this forest, there lived a wise, gentle elephant. His big ears flapped as he welcomed them. "Welcome to our island," he said. Ian asked, "Do you need help here?" The elephant looked worried. "Yes," he said. "We must protect our home from trouble. Please help us find the dragon's special stone. It helps keep our island safe." Ian and his team nodded bravely and marched forward. Deep in the forest, a friendly lion, bear, and dinosaur joined them. The lion roared happily, "Let's find the stone together." The bear growled softly, "Teamwork." The dinosaur stomped its feet with joy, "Hooray!" They all worked together, searching every bush and rock. Suddenly they saw a glowing light. It was the dragon, guarding the special stone. The dragon looked fierce but kind. Ian spoke, "Dear dragon, we want to help protect this island." The dragon smiled softly and gave them the stone. "Thank you for caring," said the dragon. With the stone, the island sparkled with colors and songs. The animals danced with joy. Ian felt his heart glow with happiness. His scientist spirit learned that with friends, you can solve big problems and take care of nature. And so, their adventure ended with giggles and hugs, wrapping the island in love and light.
In a land where castles touch the clouds lived Aurora, a young wizard with a heart full of wonder. One day, she wore her blue hat and picked up her wand made of rosewood, ready for a day of learning. Aurora lived with her family in a cozy tower near the largest castle. She loved learning spells, especially those that made flowers bloom and shimmer. Her parents taught her the importance of kindness and helping others. Aurora practiced magic only for good and was mindful of others around her. Her best friend was a unicorn named Luna, whose silver mane sparkled under the sun. Luna loved listening to Aurora's stories of faraway lands and always encouraged her to be the best wizard she could be. One sunny morning, a letter arrived from the princess and prince. They needed help with a mystery. Their castle was surrounded by strange fog, and nobody could see the stars at night. Aurora knew she had to help. She packed a basket with fresh fruits her mom had picked and set off with Luna. As they approached the castle, they met a friendly dragon named Ember, who loved warming chilly nights with his gentle breath. "Please be careful," Ember said as they entered the fog. Inside, they found the princess and prince looking sad. Aurora offered them fruits to cheer them up. With a gentle smile, she promised to solve the mystery. Together, they followed a glittering path that led them to a mysterious door, where a griffon stood guard. The griffon, wise and golden-eyed, listened to Aurora's request. "You must solve a riddle," it said. Using her knowledge, Aurora thought deeply. With help from her friends, she answered correctly, and the door opened slowly. Inside, they met a witch who had cast a spell to hide the stars, wanting to keep them all to herself. Aurora kindly asked the witch to share the stars instead. The witch, moved by Aurora's kindness, agreed to lift the spell. As the fog faded, everyone sighed with relief, seeing the twinkling stars again. The princess and prince thanked Aurora, and they celebrated with a magical feast. Aurora learned that kindness and responsibility are the best kinds of magic. And from then on, the castle glowed under the magical light of the stars every night.
Princess Sophia lived in a grand castle on the edge of a magical forest. Each morning, golden sunlight danced through leaves, painting the forest with sparkles. Sophia loved visiting the forest with her friend, Prince Ethan. They played under the tall trees and listened to chirping birds. One day, while wandering in the forest, Sophia and Ethan heard a gentle cry. It was Ian, a tiny creature with shimmering wings, stuck in a tangle of colorful vines. His wings sparkled like stars, and he looked very worried. "Could you help me?" Ian asked, his voice soft as the breeze. Sophia smiled kindly and nodded. "Of course we can help," she said. Sophia and Ethan worked together. They carefully untangled the vines using patience and teamwork. While they worked, Ian shared stories of enchanted places beyond the forest. His tales were like songs, filled with magic and wonder. When Ian was free, he spread his wings and fluttered happily. "Thank you, dear friends," he said, his eyes shining. "As a thank you, let me show you something special." Ian led them deeper into the forest. They reached a clearing where trees glowed with a soft, magical light. Flowers opened, revealing sparkling dewdrops like jewels. Prince Ethan gasped in delight. "This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen," he exclaimed. In the heart of the glowing clearing, Ian gave Sophia a warm smile. "This light is a symbol of kindness and friendship," Ian explained. "It blooms when friends help each other." Sophia and Ethan felt their hearts glow, warming them like a hug. They realized how much they had learned about being kind and working together. As the sun began to set, they knew it was time to return home. Sophia looked at Ian. "We'll come back soon," she promised. Ian waved as they headed back, the forest full of magic and friendship. That night, Sophia dreamed of new adventures, ready to explore and help wherever she could. Her heart was happy, knowing friendship was her greatest treasure.
In the sparkling universe, there was a little elf named Xavier. He wasn't just an elf, he was a superhero too. Xavier lived on a tiny, colorful planet called Lumina. His family lived with him. They had pointy ears, twinkling eyes, and little capes that made them fly. One shiny morning, Xavier woke up to see something special. A new star was winking at him from the sky. "Xavier," his mom said, "that star is magical. It's calling for help." Xavier's family had powers, but only Xavier could touch the magic star. It was his turn to become a hero. He wore his shiny blue cape and whispered, "I'm ready, star." With a whoosh, the cape started glowing. Xavier floated up into the starry sky. Stars twinkled all around him. He flew past the colorful planet of Giggle, where children laughed and played. On the planet Zoom, he saw superheroes racing like shooting stars. They waved and cheered for Xavier. Finally, Xavier reached the star. It was on a planet called Whisper, where everyone spoke softly. The star told Xavier, "Save us, brave elf. We're losing our sparkle." Xavier touched the star with his heart full of kindness. Suddenly, colors danced around him. The planet started to glow again. Back on Lumina, his family cheered. "You did it, Xavier. Your heart of kindness is the real magic." That night, as stars shone brightly, Xavier knew he was never alone. He had his family's love.
Stella loved to explore and paint. One day, she climbed a hill and saw a castle floating on fluffy clouds. Her heart fluttered with excitement. As she painted the golden towers, a gentle unicorn trotted over a rainbow bridge towards her. The unicorn had sparkling silver wings and a friendly smile. "Hello, I'm Twinkle," said the unicorn. Stella smiled back. "I'm Stella. Let's explore together." Twinkle agreed with a nod. The two friends flew up to the cloud castle. By the castle gates, a small robot with shiny buttons greeted them. "Welcome to Sky Palace," beeped the robot. "I'm Rolly. We need someone to catch the wind bubbles that are escaping." Stella, Twinkle, and Rolly buzzed with excitement, ready for the task. They used teamwork to chase the bubbles, giggling as they floated through the air. The wind bubbles danced down to the sea and dove underwater. Stella held her breath as she peered into the magical underwater city. Colorful fish and friendly dolphins swam past. A cheerful shark named Shiver waved its fin. "Need help catching bubbles?" asked Shiver with a grin. "Yes, please," replied Stella, feeling brave and thankful. Together, they swirled through the water, tapping each bubble until it shimmered and floated back to the sky. As they worked, Stella thought the water felt cool and bubbly, and she noticed Twinkle's wings sparkled even brighter underwater. She saw that Rolly's buttons twinkled like little stars, guiding them through the sea. With teamwork and friendship, they captured all the wind bubbles. Stella painted their adventure in her mind, picture by picture. The shark, robot, unicorn, and explorer had become a team. She realized that everyone's different talents made the adventure fun and full of surprises. Returning to Sky Palace, Stella shared her thoughts. "Together, we make the perfect team," said Stella, her eyes shining like stars. Twinkle flapped its shiny wings with joy. "You all taught me so much," Stella continued. Shiver waved happily, and Raleigh beeped proudly. As the sun began to set, they hugged and promised to explore again, knowing their friendship shone brighter than any sky or sea. In Stella's heart, she knew that with friends like these, her exciting adventures had just begun.
Once upon a time, in a magical forest, lived a young princess named Brooklyn. Brooklyn wore a crown of shimmering leaves and had a gown made from soft pink petals. She was not just any princess, she was a forest princess. Her job was to take care of animals and plants. Every morning, birds sang sweet songs for her. She danced with butterflies and laughed with squirrels. One day, as she walked through the forest, she found a tiny bird that needed help. "Don't worry," Brooklyn said with a kind smile. "We'll help you." She called her forest friends together. Princess Brooklyn's best friends, Prince Oliver the Strong and Princess Ella the Clever, came running. Oliver had a green cape that fluttered like leaves when he ran. Ella wore a crown of sparkling flowers that glowed in the sunlight. Together, they formed a perfect team. The friends sat in a circle around the tiny bird. "We will fix your wing," Brooklyn said gently. Ella quickly gathered healing herbs as Brooklyn softly sang a song. Oliver held the tiny bird gently. With teamwork, they made the bird feel safe and happy. Soon, the little bird chirped with joy and flapped its wings. Finally, it was time for the little bird to fly again. Oliver and Ella clapped as the bird soared up high, singing a happy tune. Brooklyn hugged her friends, saying, "Together, we did it." The three friends laughed and cheered. They learned that with friendship and working together, they could solve any problem. Forest creatures gathered around to thank the kind princesses and prince. The trees rustled in applause. Brooklyn knew the forest was not just her kingdom, but a place where love and teamwork made magic happen. And every day, the forest was filled with joy and laughter. Deep in a magical forest, there lived a little princess named Abigail. She had bright blue eyes and loved wearing a crown made of flowers. The forest was full of tall trees, singing birds, and sparkling streams. One day, Princess Abigail met another princess named Lily. Lily wore a dress that glimmered like the sun. Together they played near a big old oak tree. Lily said, "Let's find the hidden rainbow flower. It's magic." Abigail giggled with joy. They held hands and started their adventure through the forest. The leaves rustled as a gentle breeze guided them. Along the way, they heard a soft, melodious song from a friendly nightingale. "Follow me," chirped the nightingale, flying from branch to branch. They followed eagerly. The forest path led them to a glittering stream. There they met Prince Oliver. He wore a cape as red as a rose and had a warm smile. Oliver said, "I can help you find the rainbow flower." Abigail, Lily, and Oliver used teamwork. Together they built a little raft from twigs and leaves. With teamwork and laughter, they sailed across the stream using a long stick. On the other side, they found sparkling stepping stones. Carefully, they hopped from stone to stone, with Abigail's bare toes touching the cool water. The friends reached a sunny meadow where butterflies fluttered and bees buzzed around colourful flowers. But no rainbow flower was in sight. "Let's look closer," Oliver suggested, peering under leaves. Suddenly, Abigail spotted something. Under a giant fern there was a glow. "Look! It's the rainbow flower!" she shouted, pointing excitedly. The flower shimmered with all the colours of the rainbow. Lily clapped her hands and Oliver grinned widely. The friends gathered around, mesmerised. The rainbow flower whispered, "With friendship you found me. Together you can do anything." Abigail, Lily, and Oliver sat by the flower, sharing stories and laughter. As the sun began to set, They knew they would always remember this magical day. They learned that with friendship and teamwork, they could achieve wonderful things. And so, hand in hand, they happily made their way back home through the enchanted forest.
Once upon a time, in a big green forest, there lived a little girl named Hazel. Hazel was not an ordinary girl. She was a superhero. Hazel wore a blue cape that flapped in the wind. Her shoes sparkled like stars. Hazel loved to explore the forest. She always found new things to see. One day, she saw big, bright butterflies flying in the air. Hazel followed them deep into the forest. Suddenly, she heard a funny noise. It sounded like a little giggle. Hazel was curious. She looked around. She saw a small explorer with a big hat. The explorer's name was Max. "Hello, Hazel," said Max with a smile. "I got lost while exploring. Can you help me?" Hazel felt brave. She knew she could help Max. Hazel and Max started their adventure. They walked hand in hand. The forest was full of tall trees and soft leaves. Birds sang happy songs. Squirrel chattered from the branches. Hazel felt strong. Her cape flew behind her. The forest path was twisty and turny. Max looked worried, but Hazel was brave. "Do not worry, Max. We will find the way home," Hazel said with a big smile. Hazel used her superhero senses. She saw the path that looked familiar. She pointed and said, "This way." They climbed over rocks and splashed through little streams. Max clapped his hands. "You are a great superhero, Hazel," he said with joy. Hazel laughed. "Superheroes never give up," she said. Hazel and Max reached a magic tree. It shone like gold in the sunlight. Hazel knew the tree. It was their special spot. Max shouted, "We did it!" Hazel felt proud. She helped her friend. Max thanked Hazel and gave her a flower. "You are the best explorer," said Hazel. Max blushed and smiled. They sat by the magic tree and rested. The forest whispered sweet sounds. Hazel's heart felt happy. She showed courage and kindness. Hazel learned that being a superhero means helping others. The forest was her home, and in it, she was always ready for new adventures. And so, Hazel the superhero and Max the explorer were ready for many more exciting days. In the big green forest, with friends and fun, they knew they could do anything they dreamed of.
In the green forest full of tall trees lived Amelia. Amelia was not like any other child. She was a superhero and a prince. She wore a shining cape and a crown. One day, she decided to explore. Her first stop was the forest with singing birds and playful monkeys. Amelia met a friendly pirate named Captain Jack. Captain Jack said, "Come and sail with me. Let's find treasure and make new friends." Amelia loved making friends, so she joined him. Together, they sailed across a sparkling lake. The boat glided gently, and they met a wise old fish who gave them a map. The map showed a path through a mountain and to a hidden valley of wonders. Amelia felt excited. She knew an adventure was waiting. With sunny skies and clouds like fluffy marshmallows, Amelia and Captain Jack sailed towards the mountains. They climbed up, where they met a brave explorer named Tara. Tara said, "I am looking for the rainbow path. Do you want to join me?" Amelia, always ready for an adventure, agreed. They walked together, sharing stories. On their journey, they saw a village where a kind-hearted scientist lived. She was busy studying the stars and shared her telescope with them. Amelia peered through the telescope and saw a beautiful planet full of colors. Just then, a friendly astronaut passing by said, "Let's visit that planet in my rocket ship." Amelia encouraged her new friends to join, and they soared into space, full of wonder. In the colorful planet, they met talking dinosaurs and a jolly wizard. The wizard said, "This is the land of magic, where kindness makes everything possible." Amelia knew kindness was her special power and shared it with everyone she met. They went to a crystal palace where a princess and her fairy friends sang songs of joy. All the animals and people danced together, happier than ever. Even a shy griffin joined in. Eventually, Amelia knew it was time to return home. Her new friends waved goodbye, giving Amelia a gift of stardust and a promise. Remember, we are all friends, near or far. With a warm heart, Amelia flew back to her cozy garden, happy and grateful for her magical adventure.
In a vibrant forest, Skylar, the bold explorer, woke up early. The sun peeked through the leaves, casting gentle rays on her face. She packed her backpack with fruits and water, ready for an exciting day. Her goal was to reach the top of Sky Peak, a towering mountain touching the clouds. Skylar was not alone. Her friends joined her. Liam, the athlete, sprinted beside her playfully. Jasper, the artist, carried a sketchpad drawing the world around them. Melody, the musician, played a cheerful tune on her little flute, making birds sing along. Together, they marched forward, their hearts full of courage, eager for discovery. As they climbed, they found a sparkling river. It whispered secrets as it flowed, full of fish glistening like silver. Skylar smiled. "Let's take care of nature," she said. They picked up rubbish along the bank, making sure their playground stayed clean. After, they reached a sunny meadow and shared their snacks, gaining energy from healthy fruits. They rested, imaginations wild, dreaming of clouds that looked like ships. Nearby, Skylar spotted a path of golden flowers leading to a hidden cave. "Let's explore," she said with excitement. Inside was dark, but Melody played music to chase away fear. Painted walls told stories of ancient times. After the cave, they journeyed further to the ocean. An underwater city waited, where fish danced in joy. They helped a lost sea turtle find its family, showing love for animals. Skylar's heart filled with happiness. Then, on the beach, they ran and played, making sand castles like palaces. As the sky turned orange with sunset, they climbed Sky Peak. The peak was amazing, showing forests, rivers, and gardens below. They promised to protect nature, their beautiful home. Skylar and her friends returned home, new stories to tell and cherish. Their adventure was perfect, filled with bravery, creativity, and friendship.
Once upon a time in a sunny village, there was a little princess named Ella. Ella wore a sparkly pink dress and a shiny crown. She had a lovely garden where magic flowers grew. Ella loved to play with her friends, the birds and the bunnies. One day, Prince Leo came to visit. Prince Leo wore a blue cape and had a shiny sword. He was friendly and liked to smile. "Hello, Ella," he said. Ella smiled back and said, "Hello, Leo. Let's have fun today." They decided to visit the magic lake in the village. The magic lake was special. It sparkled in the sun and sang a sweet song. Everyone loved the magic lake. Ella and Leo held hands. They started walking. The sun was warm and the sky was blue. Little butterflies danced around them. Ella laughed and clapped her hands in joy. "Look, Leo, pretty butterflies," she said. As they walked, they met Toby. Toby was a tiny orange frog with big eyes. "Ribbit, where are you going?" asked Toby. Ella replied, "To the magic lake. Come with us." Toby was happy to join. Together they walked and sang a song. To the lake, where we play, where we play." Their voices chimed happily. At the magic lake, they saw colorful fish jumping. "Wow," said Leo. Ella and her friends sat by the water. A gentle wind blew, making tiny waves. They saw a shiny stone by the lake. "Let's pick it up," said Ella. All together, they lifted the stone. Underneath, they found a tiny, glowing treasure. It was a heart-shaped stone. "Teamwork is magic," said Ella, delighted. The friends smiled and kept the stone. It glowed like their happy hearts. Then they danced by the magic lake, feeling joy and friendship, and the village sang with them.
Roman was a young pirate, brave and bold. He sailed the blue ocean on his ship, the Sunny Star. His crew was small but special. There was Luna, the pirate with a shiny hook, Princess Pippa in a sparkly dress, Spot the dog with a wagging tail, Leo the lion roaring softly, and Drago, a tiny dragon with warm flames. One bright day, Roman found a mysterious map. It showed Hidden Treasure Island. Roman gathered his friends. "Let's find the treasure together," he said. Everyone cheered. The ocean was big and the waves danced. The sunny star sailed, and they saw shiny fish jumping. The sky was full of fluffy clouds. Suddenly, the wind blew strong. A big storm came. The waves got high. Roman held the wheel tightly. "We can do this together," he said. His friends helped. Luna looked through the spyglass, spotting safe paths. Pippa sang sweet songs to calm everyone. Spot barked loudly to give courage. Leo roared and Drago puffed hot air to warm them. They sailed bravely, never giving up. The storm passed, and soon they saw the island. It was the hidden treasure island, but there was a wide, glittery river. "How will we cross?" asked Pippa. Roman thought hard. "We must build a bridge," he said. As a team, they found logs. Roman and Luna tied them with strong ropes. Spot dug in the sand, finding more sticks. Leo and Drago lifted heavy logs with care. With everyone working together, the bridge was ready. Step by step, they crossed. On the island, birds sang happily. The trees had bright green leaves. Finally, they saw a big X on the ground. "This must be the spot," said Luna. Roman's heart raced. Together they dug deep. Spot helped too, paws flying. Clink! They hit something hard. It was a treasure chest. Roman's eyes sparkled. Inside, they found golden coins and jewels. But the biggest treasure was a note. It said, "True treasure is friendship and working as one." Roman smiled, feeling happy and proud. They learned that teamwork and friendship were the real jewels. As they celebrated, a shadow appeared. It was the giant guardian of the island, a big wise turtle named Tuga. "You found the treasure," he said, "but most important, you learned about helping and caring for each other." Roman nodded, feeling warm inside. "Thank you, Tuga. We couldn't have done it without every friend." The crew sailed back to their ship, hearts full of joy. They didn't just have a chest of jewels. They had memories and lessons. Roman knew that with his friends, he could face any storm. The ocean stretched wide as they sailed away, side by side, ready for more adventures. And so, Roman, the brave pirate, learned something true. With honesty, bravery, and his friends, nothing was impossible. The Sunny Star sailed on, with stories and songs across the sparkling sea. Together, they laughed, shared dreams, and knew that the strongest treasure was forever in their hearts.
On a bright sunny day, Nora the pirate stood on her ship. She wore a big hat and had a shiny sword. Nora loved the ocean. Her ship sailed across the waves. The sea sparkled like diamonds. Seagulls flew above and called, "Squawk, squawk." Nora was not alone. Her best friend was a small fish named Finn. Finn liked to swim in the clear blue water. "Hello, Finn." Nora waved from the ship. Finn jumped high and splashed. "Hello, Nora. Let's find treasure," he said. Nora nodded. "Yes, let's explore the sea." Together they sailed far and wide. Big, friendly whales swam by. Nora smiled and waved. The whales sang deep songs. "Woo! Woo!" Then came a pod of dolphins. They flipped and twirled in the waves. Nora clapped her hands. "Look at them go," she cheered. The sea was full of life, and Nora loved every moment. As the ship sailed on, they saw a lovely island. On this island stood a kind princess named Lily. She wore a golden crown and had long flowing hair. "Hello, Nora," she waved from the shore. Nora waved back. "Hello, Princess Lily. Join our adventure?" Princess Lily nodded happily. She climbed aboard and they sailed together. The sky turned pink as the sun set. The sea creatures gathered around. A wise old sea turtle named Shelley waved his flipper. "Nora, look," said Shelley. "There is secret treasure deep in the sea." Everyone's eyes lit up with excitement. "Let's find it together," said Nora. Finn the fish led the way down into the water. Nora and Princess Lily followed carefully, swimming like mermaids. The ocean was colourful and bright with corals and fishes of every colour. Deep down they saw a big shiny chest. A starfish sat on top smiling and the bubbles danced around. Nora opened the chest with her small hands. Inside there were jewels and pearls. They glimmered in the watery light. Everyone cheered. "Hooray, we found the treasure," said Finn happily. "We make a great team." Nora smiled wide. The whales sang, the dolphins danced, and even the turtles clapped. Princess Lily gave everyone a pearl as a gift. "This is to remember our friendship," she said kindly. They all agreed. Adventure is better with friends. Nora and her friends returned to the ship. The sea was calm and gentle. The stars twinkled like tiny lights. As they sailed home, Nora looked up at the moon and thought, "The ocean is full of wonders and friends."